When was the last time you truly experienced a moment where your mind wasn't running? Take a breath. Stop for just a single second and listen to the current state of your thoughts. If you are like most people living in the frantic, accelerated race of the 21st century, your mind is likely crowded. It is loud. It is constantly bombarded by notifications, algorithms, unread emails, and the invisible, crushing weight of expectations. We have built a world that celebrates speed, but in the process, we have accidentally forgotten how to breathe. We have trapped our minds in an endless loop of artificial stimulation, leaving our souls completely, utterly exhausted. But what if I told you that there is an exit door? What if there is a place on this planet where the clock did not just slow down, but completely stopped? Today, we are leaving the noise behind. We are journeying deep into the heart of rural China, into a mountain valley so isolated, so fiercely protected by geography, that the modern world has simply bypassed it entirely. This is not a travel guide. This is an invitation to escape. For the next few minutes, I want you to close your eyes to your current worries and step into a hidden paradise where anxiety has no power to survive. Welcome to the sanctuary your overwhelmed mind has been begging you to find. To understand the profound peace of this place, we must first understand the wall of nature that protects it. Hidden within the southwestern subtropical regions of rural China lies a network of ancient mountain villages that geography has kept hidden from the eyes of globalization. For centuries, these vertical landscapes of limestone and dense forest acted as natural fortresses, while the eastern coast of China transformed into a glowing grid of megacities and high-speed bullet trains. These western valleys remained cradled in a timeless silence. The village we are exploring today sits at the base of these massive mountain ranges. It is an environment where the topography itself dictates the pace of human life. There are no highways leading here, no concrete structures defacing the hillsides. Instead, the village is integrated seamlessly into the earth, built from the very timber, clay, and stone that surrounds it. The air here does not smell like exhaust fumes or industrial concrete. It carries the scent of fresh rain, damp moss, and the crisp, clean oxygen that can only be produced by a forest that has remained undisturbed for 1,000 years. When you walk down the main pathway of this hidden settlement, you realize that the architecture is a physical manifestation of harmony. The houses, built with traditional dark wooden beams and sweeping tiled roofs, look as though they grew directly out of the mountain soil. They have stood here through dynasties, through revolutions, and through the rise and fall of empires, remaining entirely unchanged. The stones beneath your feet are smooth, polished not by machines, but by the footsteps of generations of ancestors who walked these exact same paths with the exact same slow, intentional rhythm. As we venture deeper into the outskirts of the village, the landscape opens up into a scene that feels almost mythological. This valley is home to vast ancient orchards of golden plums and emerald peach trees. In the modern world, agriculture is an industry of speed, noise, and massive machinery. But here, the relationship between human beings and the soil is an act of meditation. Imagine walking beneath these low-hanging branches. The sun is just high enough to warm your skin, filtering through the dense leaves in golden beams of light. All around you, thousands of golden plums hang like small, sun-drenched lanterns against the dark green foliage. There is no rush to harvest them with loud, polluting tractors. The villagers tend to these trees entirely by hand, following a cyclical calendar that has remained unbroken for centuries. They watch the blossoms open in the spring, they wait patiently through the heavy summer rains, and they pick the fruit only when nature decides it is time. This lack of urgency is something our modern minds find incredibly difficult to grasp. We live in a society obsessed with immediate results. We measure our worth by our productivity, our speed, and our output. But when you stand in the middle of a quiet Chinese peach orchard, surrounded only by the gentle hum of cicadas and the whisper of the wind, you realize a profound truth. Nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. The trees do not stress about growing, they simply grow. The fruit does not panic about ripening, it simply ripens. By immersing yourself in this environment, your brain naturally begins to mimic the frequency of the earth. The frantic racing thoughts that cause your chest to tighten in the city slowly begin to untangle, replaced by the steady, calm pulse of the living world. Let us pause our journey for a moment and focus entirely on what we can hear. In the city, silence is something we have to pay for. We buy noise-canceling headphones, we build soundproof walls, yet we are still hunted by the low, distant hum of electricity and engines. We don't realize it, but this constant auditory pollution keeps our nervous system in a permanent state of low-level fight or flight. Our minds are always on guard, always processing data, always stressed. But listen to the auditory landscape of this mountain village. The dominant sound is water, a pure, untamed mountain stream that originates from the highest peaks, carving its way through the center of the village. The sound of water moving over stone is one of the oldest natural frequencies on Earth. It is a white noise that does not demand anything from your intellect. It does not ask you to think, to judge, or to react. It simply flows. Alongside the stream, you hear the slow, rhythmic creak of an old wooden water wheel. It turns without a motor, powered entirely by the natural current of the river. It has been turning like this for decades, a beautiful reminder of a time when humanity worked with the forces of nature rather than trying to conquer them. When you align your breathing with the sound of that water wheel, something magical happens to your psychology. The background static of your anxiety, the endless worries about the future, the regrets about the past, begins to wash away. You are forced into the absolute present. You are here on this ancient stone bridge, and for this exact moment, you are completely safe. The true heart of this paradise, however, lies in its people. The population of this mountain village is small, consisting mostly of elders who have chosen to remain connected to their ancestral roots. In our Western culture, we often associate aging with fear and rural life with poverty. But if you look closely at the faces of the people who inhabit this valley, you do not see distress or lack. You see a profound, unshakable dignity. These individuals live a life of voluntary simplicity. They do not have smart TVs, they do not care about viral trends, and they have never heard of the stock market. Their daily routine is dictated entirely by the sun. They wake when the light hits the peaks of the karst mountains. They tend to their orchards and gardens during the day, and they gather in their wooden homes as the evening mist rolls into the valley. There is a deep psychological wisdom in this lifestyle. Psychological studies have shown that human happiness does not scale with the complexity of our options. In fact, the more options we have, the more anxious we become. By limiting their world to the essential elements of life, good food grown from their own soil, fresh water from the mountain spring, a sturdy roof built by their neighbors, and a deep connection to the land, these villagers have unlocked a state of mental peace that millions of people in modern cities spend lifetimes trying to buy through therapy and meditation apps. They do not need to look for a reset button because their entire existence is a continuous state of balance. As we watch an elder walk slowly up a steep stone path, carrying a heavy basket of fresh plums without a single sign of rush or irritation, we must ask ourselves, who is truly advanced? The society that built cities so loud they drive us to mental exhaustion, or the community that kept its world simple enough so that their souls could remain intact? The day is now drawing to a close in this hidden paradise. The golden light that illuminated the plum orchards is slowly shifting into the deep indigo hues of a mountain twilight. As the darkness begins to settle into the valley, a completely different energy takes over this ancient settlement. The fog descends from the peaks, isolating the village even further from the outside world, creating an atmosphere that feels almost sacred. Most travelers who stumble upon places like this only see the surface during the daytime. They see the beauty, they take their photos, and they leave before the sun sets. But the true mystery of this sanctuary does not happen in the light. It happens when the darkness falls and the village enters a state of absolute, profound isolation. It is in the dark that the valley reveals its oldest secrets and its deepest power to heal a broken mind. But as the final rays of sun disappear behind the limestone cliffs, a question arises. How does a community like this survive when the night completely cuts them off from civilization? And what is the ancient ritual that takes place under the stars of this hidden valley that allows its residents to live without fear, without stress, and in perfect harmony with the unknown? The air is growing cold, and the doors of the wooden sanctuaries are closing. But our journey into the heart of this hidden paradise is only halfway through. In the next video, we will step directly into the shadows of the mountain night. We will discover the hidden philosophy of the elders, the secret geography of the valley's deepest caves, and the final lesson this paradise has to teach us about how to heal our own modern anxiety. Make sure you are subscribed to Reunion Place, click the notification bell so you do not miss part 2, and leave a comment below telling me, if you could escape to this village right now, what is the first thing you would leave behind in the city? Until next time, let the silence heal you.